Now, the control variables, they are a term which I've coined up, right? So not only do they help us in terms of controlling some of the features that we want or do not want when we initialize the app in the headers environment, because for this I can easily control them from a command line, passing in some of the variables when I'm trying to run the Docker container, or I can try to pass them as a command line parameters. All right. The second good thing about having these control variables is that I'm able to step through. I'll try to look for places where this specific term is being used. So say, for example, this guy is talking about how do we get raw data and raw video and raw audio data from Linux video SDK, right? So if I'm interested to first find out about how do I get raw video data, okay, I'll just copy this. I will do a search for all the instances where this term is being seen. So if I click on find all, okay, I'll move my video around. Okay. It's being mentioned in my README. Okay, it's being mentioned at the top of this, but you can see, oh, on user join. On user join, probably it's a good time for me to subscribe to this specific user who has joined the meeting to his or her video, right? And then the next instance where we see, okay, when a user leaves, it might be a good idea for me to stop subscribing to the video or for this specific user who has left the session, right? So some of the other things that I've put in as well, although it does nothing, is there anything I need to prepare beforehand prior to joining a session? Okay, because for some of these other specific features, example, if I'm trying to get a raw audio, I need to make sure I connect my audio. But for getting raw video, I do not need to do anything much before joining a session. So you might want to take note if you're trying to do get raw audio, there are some things that you need to do beforehand. All right. If you want to send raw video beforehand, same thing, there are some prerequisites that's associated with it. So let me just step through quickly some of the other variables over here. Okay, this is a part where I'm just trying to read the parameters from config.txt. All right. So in future, if you have any more additional features, you can add them here as well. All right, same thing. This is still the part where I'm just reading the txt setting. Okay. Then some of these things are on print line. I want to walk through with you another part, which is getting raw audio as well. All right. So if I find all instance where get raw audio is being mentioned, it's on the control variable. Okay. It's also over here at when a user's audio status change. Okay, I can try to subscribe to their audio. Okay, typically for audio, it is slightly different from video. Video, you require you to subscribe to individual video stream, but audio, you will subscribe to the mix channel where everyone is speaking at the same time. You can also, if you choose to, subscribe to individual user channel. So there are two different callbacks that's associated with raw audio. Okay, one of them is called on mix audio raw data receive. This is the channel where everyone's audio is being mixed together, right? There's no way for you to tell, okay, from this raw PCM frame who is speaking. But on the other hand, if you want to know, or if you want to subscribe to individual users' audio stream, there's also another callback which will be fired at the same time. It is called on one-way audio data. Sorry, on one-way audio raw data receive. Okay, this will pass back to you a user object. So from the user object, you will be able to tell what is the user ID and try to figure out who exactly is associated with this audio file or PCM file. All right. Okay. So over here, this is talking about the prerequisites that's necessary when you want to get audio. Right. So for this case, you will need to make sure that the SDK connects to audio. All right. This part, it is just reading the text file settings, same as well. And that's about all. So if in any case you want to do things like get raw share data, share data has a very similar implementation compared to getting raw video data. All right. Similarly, I will just walk through with you this. Right. Okay. It is using a dedicate, which is called Zoom Video SDK raw data pipeline to get the raw YUV 420 frame. All right. So let me dive a bit deeper into getting raw video. All right. So when trying to get a raw video, okay, over a sample code, you can see that I'm using something called a Zoom Video SDK raw data pipe delegate. Okay, this is an implementation. This is something that I implemented myself. This is an implementation of hang on. This is an implementation of the class. Here. iZoom Video SDK raw data pipeline delegate. All right. So the C++ file will implement the header file. All right. And you can see there are some useful callbacks which is associated with this C++ file. What we are interested about within this is we will be looking at, give me a while, on raw data frame receive. Right. This is the part where I will be getting the YUV 420 data frame of the specific users I'm subscribing to. All right. So over here, there are some things I can do, but we do not recommend you to do very heavy processing over here, because if you do very heavy processing, it might affect the performance of the SDK. So typically what customers do is that they will just save the file or maybe do very light processing to convert YUV 420 files into a MPEG-4 file, which reduces the video size by a huge margin. All right. So this is the part where you will be getting the specific individual raw data frame of the users which you subscribe to. All right. Similarly for share, okay, if you're trying to get raw share data, it's also using the same callback on raw data frame receive. All right. But the key difference is that over here, instead of video of a user, you're getting the video of the share screen. It's also in the same YOV 420 format, and it's recommended you do not do too much processing over here. Simple processing is converting them from a YUV to MPEG-4 is fine. The last part I want to talk about is on sending raw data. So sometimes if you want to send a raw video or if you want to send a raw audio, okay, you can do it from the SDK as well. So if I go ahead, search for this. How this works is, right. The sending of raw video and raw audio works in the sense that there is a virtual video source, or in the term microphone, virtual microphone, if you're trying to send raw audio, right? So over here, I will have created a new Zoom Video SDK video source. And this is an implementation of a iZoom Video SDK video source. All right. So what happens is over here, this happens at, okay, this is just the prerequisite. Okay, let's see what happens when I'm in session. All right. Okay, so when I'm in session, if I just unmute my video, okay, there is a video sender which I can use. Okay, to send the YOV 420 frames. So similarly for microphone, if I try to search for send raw audio, okay, that's a bit too far out. You slowly step through. Okay, this is the control flow. This is the on session join. Okay, if I'm trying to send a raw audio, I will first get a audio helper. Okay, and then I'll do a start audio. But remember, there was a prerequisite that we have done before joining the session. So before joining the session, we have to make sure that we connect, we unmute our microphone, okay, create a virtual microphone, okay, and assign this virtual microphone as the microphone which we want to use. All right. So if I take a look at the virtual microphone, all right, there is some of these methods which I can use, and this is the specific methods I'm using to send raw audio. The audio that is being sent is in PCM format, right? You have to specify the sample rate, the data length, and the data. All right. So over here, okay, this is the part that I will get the callback, okay, and then I will send the audio over here. Over here, I have not implemented anything, right? It's up to developers or it's up to you on how you want to implement it. So some of the things that you can do is that you can read an example MP3 file, convert it from MP3 to a PCM format, and then send it over using the, let's see, what's the name of the object. Yep, send raw audio, right, using this method. Okay. Next, I would like to talk about the other processes. So remember, we briefly talked about the life cycle of the video SDK. So you have things like your init, you have your join, you have your manage. Okay, what happens after that? You will do, once the initting is done, you will do something like leave. All right. So once you're done, okay, the host will typically do a leave session, or you can end the session. Okay. Leave session, if you have the host, you can set this to true, and if leave session bracket true, it ends the session for everyone. If you're just a participant, leave session bracket false will just leave the session. Right. So once you leave, you can clean up the SDK and you are done with the SDK from that point of view. So with that, I've briefly covered on some of the prerequisites. Okay, things like you needing a video SDK account, okay, cloning this repository from GitHub, downloading SDK from marketplace.zoom.us. How do we combine some of the files over from the SDK files and to add it into the library and the include folders? Okay, walking you through what's the starting point, which is the C++ file. Where's the main method? Okay, what the main method does, it reads the text configuration, the lifecycle, which is to join, which is first to init, then to join, then to manage. Next is to leave and then clean up. Okay, and within manage, we talk about things like how do we get access to raw audio, raw video, raw share data, and if you want to, how do we send raw video, raw audio, and raw share screen. Right. With that, I hope you have found this video useful, and I will encourage you to start signing up for a VSDK account, downloading this sample, and try it out yourself. So the last thing I wanted to show you without further ado is how do we run this and how would it look like? Right. So over on config.txt, I will paste in a newly generated token. Right. I will join in as a host. And some of the control flows that I want to do is that okay, these are all set to false. So why I like Visual Studio is that I can do a remote deployment easily. Right. If you want to, there no issue. You can also use something like command prompt to do it as well. Yeah, I can do something like message into the box. Right. So this joins the session successfully. So if I want to do a test, I want to show you that the SDK has successfully joined the meeting. I can quickly show you some of the demos I have over here. I can probably look at okay, some demos I have over here. Okay, these will try to join the same session. Okay. And I can go ahead and join. Maybe I'll do another one that shows a participant view. Okay. I go ahead. All right, you can see that. Okay, I have one user over here. I also see that the Linux bot has successfully joined a meeting. Although it's not doing anything right now, he's not doing any recording, but you can see that he has successfully joined a video session within a video SDK environment. With that, I hope that you have found this video useful. If you need any help, do head over to devforum.zoom.us. And if you need any help, do tag me in your questions. Thank you for your time. I hope you have enjoyed this video.